बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये एक्चुअली एक प्रोजेक्ट आईसीपीआर का मेरे को मिला था 4 साल पहले। तो उसके ऊपर मैं काम कर रहा था कि ये जैनिज्म के अंदर जो आत्मा का कंसेप्ट है और जो साइंस में जब भी काम हो रहा है उन दोनों का कंपैरिजन, मतलब तो उसमें मतलब काफी मैंने चीजें पढ़ी। मतलब साइमल्टेनियसली हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में यानी साइंस एंड स्पिरिचुअलिटी रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट में समय सार पे एक कोर्स हमने शुरू कराया था। तो उसमें एक रमेश भाई है, उन्होंने, वो इंजीनियर है लेकिन उनको बहुत ज्ञान है इसका समय सार का, तो वो हर रविवार को क्लास लेते थे। तो वो मेरे को काफी अपीलिंग वो रहा। मतलब वो जो कोर्स वो ले रहे थे वो काफी मैंने इंटरेस्ट से उसको वो देखा था एक्चुअली। तो अभी धीरे धीरे फिर इसमें काफी लिटरेचर पढ़ा हमने, लगभग 100 पुस्तकें मंगवाई जो कॉन्शियसनेस और इन सब्जेक्ट से मतलब रिलेटेड थी एक्चुअली। तो वो पुस्तकें में काफी मतलब कुछ तो पढ़ा, कुछ वैसे ही हमने देखा। तो ये मैं आगे बढ़ूं उसके पहले ये जो प्रेजेंटेशन है ये मेरी ग्रैंड मदर, मेरे पेरेंट्स और हमारे ये फूफा जी और बुआ जी हैं, उनको समर्पित करता हूँ। उनके आशीर्वाद से और उनके प्रोत्साहन से, उन्होंने बहुत प्रोत्साहन किया था बचपन में मेरे को ऐसा काम करने के लिए। उसके बाद में इसके पीछे जो सोच है मैं जरा बताना चाहूंगा आपको कि क्यों मतलब मैं इतना इंटरेस्ट ले रहा हूँ इन चीजों के अंदर। तो हमारे आचार्य नानालाल जी महाराज साहब थे, उन्होंने काफी वो मेरे को व्यक्तिगत रूप से इसके लिए प्रोत्साहित किया था कि इन चीजों में विज्ञान लगाना चाहिए और ये बहुत वैज्ञानिक चीजें हैं, इसको आगे समझने का प्रयास करना चाहिए। उसके बाद मैंने महर्षि महेश योगी जी के साथ भी काम किया था। तो वहाँ पे उस समय यानी 78 79 के अंदर कई विश्वविख्यात वैज्ञानिक बेंगलोर में आते थे और वो कॉन्शियसनेस और इन चीजों के ऊपर चर्चा करते थे। तो मेरी उत्सुकता धीरे धीरे जागृत होती गई और 78 79 के अंदर ही एक व्यक्ति क्वांटम ग्रेविटी और कॉन्शियसनेस की बात कर रहा था। मतलब उसके बाद में आचार्य तुलसी हैं, उनका भी मेरे को बहुत आशीर्वाद रहा है। आचार्य कनकनंद जी महाराज साहब हैं, उनका बहुत आशीर्वाद रहा है, तो मैं ये उनको समर्पित करता हूँ। काफी इसमें आगम और काफी चीजें मतलब पढ़ी, लेकिन एक पुस्तक मेरे को मिली गुजराती के अंदर, तो उसका नाम था ये कि प्रवचन नवनीत। ये मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ, शायद आप देख पाएंगे इस पुस्तक को। तो ये गुजराती में है पुस्तक और ये लगभग 550 पेज की है। तो ये आचार्य ये कांजी स्वामी हुए थे इधर ये सौराष्ट्र के अंदर। तो ये इनकी लिखी हुई है, उन्होंने व्याख्यान दिए थे उसके ऊपर। तो वो व्याख्यान हिंदी में देते थे लेकिन जो गुजराती लोग हैं उनके लिए इसको गुजराती में लिखा गया है। तो आप पढ़ोगे तो ये पुस्तक हिंदी में लगेगी पर लिखी हुई गुजराती के अंदर है। उसके अलावा इस फील्ड पे इंकरेज करने के लिए मेरे को मैंने कहा था 78 79 और उसके पहले भी डॉक्टर डीएस कोठारी, उन्होंने बहुत इंकरेज किया था। मैंने उनके एक पेपर भेजा था आज से लगभग 50 साल पहले। उनका जवाब आया था कि कॉन्शियसनेस में मैटर और कॉन्शियसनेस कैसे इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, अगर दोनों अलग अलग हैं तो हाउ कैन दे इंटरेक्ट एंड इन्फ्लुएंस ईच अदर। वो उन्होंने उस लेटर में लिखा था, उससे बारे में मैंने डिस्कशन भी किया था। उसके बाद प्रोफेसर ईसीजी सुदर्शन, उनके जो लेक्चर सुने थे बेंगलोर के अंदर वो भी काफी इंटरेस्टिंग थे और उन्होंने भी मेरे को व्यक्तिगत रूप से मोटिवेट किया था कि इस बात को आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए। और उस पर एक पेपर मैंने उसमें प्रेजेंट किया था, वो बहुत पसंद किया था उन्होंने। तो वो भी नहीं है हमारे बीच पर, मैं उनको याद करता हूँ मतलब। और एक बहुत आश्चर्य की बात, अच्छा उसके बाद मेरे गाइड डॉक्टर यूएन उपाध्याय जो लेफ्ट में है, जिनके अंडर मैंने पीएचडी की थी, उन्होंने भी मेरे को जैनिज्म पे और ये साइंस पे काम करने के लिए बहुत प्रोत्साहित किया था। ये राइट में प्रोफेसर केपी सिन्हा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ साइंस में इनके साथ काम किया था। उनके साथ ये कॉन्शियसनेस वगैरह की हम डिस्कस करते थे। और एक आश्चर्य की बात है जो बताना चाहता हूँ आपके कि ये जो बीच में ये लेफ्ट से जो सेकंड फोटो है ये एडगर मिटचल का है। ये एडगर मिटचल एक was the 6th person to walk on the moon। और ये जब मून से वापस आ रहे थे तो बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो गए, मतलब बोले पृथ्वी इतनी सुंदर है तो ये लड़ाई झगड़े क्यों होते हैं, डिफरेंसेस क्यों है। तो उन्होंने वापस जमीन पे आकर के और कुछ सालों बाद एक इंस्टीट्यूट की स्थापना की थी। और वो जो इंस्टीट्यूट है वो कैलिफोर्निया में है और
बराबर
अभी
है।
वो
हाँ, ओके
दूसरे
ओके।
स्तर पे काम कर रहा है।
अब
तो
हाँ,
आप आश्चर्य करेंगे कि उनका ही जो वर्क है वो क्वांटम होलोग्राफी वगैरह, उनकी एक बुक में आया है। उस पर काफी उन्होंने उसमें डिटेल में लिखा है और मैंने वहीं से वो थ्रेड पिकअप किया है। और मैं कहूंगा तो आप आश्चर्य करोगे कि 78 या 79 में जब मैं बेंगलोर में था, तो मैंने इन मिट्चल साहब का एक्चुअली लेक्चर लाइव सुना था। उस समय तो ये तो वहां पे बेंगलोर में वो आए थे, मतलब उनके कोई गुरु थे, विष्णु देवानंदा कुछ नाम था शायद। तो उनके साथ वो आए थे और मैं उनका लाइव मतलब वो सुना था, उनका व्याख्यान। और अभी मेरे को आश्चर्य हो रहा है कि 40 साल बाद उनकी ही पुस्तक में से मैंने देखा है ये क्वांटम या होलोग्राफी का जो कंसेप्ट है। तो ये मतलब मैं उनका मतलब बहुत मैं मानता हूँ। उस समय में पता नहीं क्या बात है, मैं शेयर करना चाहूंगा। आई वाज वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड बाय हिज लेक्चर। अभी मेरे को याद नहीं एग्जैक्टली वो क्या क्या बोले थे, बट इट वाज वेरी शाइनिंग फेस एंड वेरी हैंडसम एंड आई वाज वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड बाय हिज प्रेजेंटेशन इन 79। तो ये थोड़ा ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन है। तो अभी ये जो समरी है, अच्छा मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि इन चीजों को आप थोड़ा क्रिटिकली देखें, मतलब मैं कहीं गलती तो नहीं कर रहा हूँ मतलब। तो सभी सभी विद्वानों से मेरा निवेदन है कि वो इसको क्रिटिकली देखें मतलब। आचार्य कुंदा through समय सारे defined 47 शक्तिज of Atma about 2000 years ago. Its Sanskrit commentary by Acharya Amrit Chandji Maharaj about 1000 years afterwards provides commentaries in Sanskrit. Acharya Kanji Swami provides in-depth description of them about 50 years ago. Now these Shaktis describe foundation of Atma and reality. These Shaktis appear to indicate a holographic picture of Atma, treating the infinite Shaktis as some kind of oscillations or waves. A model of reality based on universal writing system and nilpotent quantum mechanics imply that Atma and rest of the reality may constitute two vector spaces, mirror images of each other which are dual of each other, containing same information. ये एकदम नया डेवलपमेंट है। 2017 के कुछ पेपर मेरे को मिले हैं। एक ये क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स की एक ब्रांच नहीं कहूंगा, बट आई मीन डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव। एक नील पोटेंट क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स वो कुछ पॉपुलर हो रही है और मेरे को ये कंसेप्ट बहुत अच्छा लगा। मतलब मैं थोड़ा इसके बारे में बताऊंगा। और ये जो 47 शक्तियां है, उसके बाद उसका जो मैंने एनालिसिस किया है, उसका फाइनल कंक्लूजन देखे, मतलब ये नील पोटेंट क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स है उससे बहुत मेल खाती है मतलब। और वो नील पोटेंट क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स के पहले एक यूनिवर्सल, एक्चुअली ये अपना रीराइटिंग है, यूनिवर्सल रीराइटिंग सिस्टम डेवलप हुआ है। एकदम नया कंसेप्ट है, ये भी मेरे को बहुत प्रोफाउंड कंसेप्ट लगा और उसी से मैंने इन चीजों को निकालने का प्रयास किया है। तो ये कुछ नए आइडियाज इसमें पुट फॉरवर्ड किए हैं। और आखिर में ये कहना चाहूंगा कि एनी बिसेंट के ऊपर हम कुछ काम कर रहे थे काफी सालों से, मतलब 4-5 सालों से। तो अब मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि शायद एनी बिसेंट का जो क्लेम है कि उन्होंने एटम्स और क्वार्क्स डायरेक्टली देखे थे, मतलब अनिमा सिद्धि से, तो कैसे संभव है। तो मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है, मतलब आई एम नॉट मेकिंग टॉल क्लेम, बट मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस थ्योरी से उसको एक्सप्लेन किया जा सकता है। तो ये मेरा ये पूरा मतलब इसका समरी है। तो मैं धीरे धीरे स्टार्ट करूंगा। ये 47 शक्तिज को पूरा कवर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन थोड़ा मेजर जो है उसकी एक समरी बताऊंगा कि आत्मा के जो गुण बताए गए हैं, दर्शन, ज्ञान और चेतना, इनफाइनाइट शक्तिज एग्जिस्ट साइमल्टेनियसली। उसके बाद द्रव्य शक्ति एंड पर्याय, उसके बाद उत्पाद, व्यय और इस द्रव्य, then द्रव्य, आकाश, काल एंड भाव, कर्म एंड आत्मा are two distinct substances. Then 6 कारकास determine total system dynamics of the system. तो ये एक ब्रीफ समरी है जो मैंने सेलेक्टिवली ये पिकअप की है, जस्ट फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन। तो अभी मैं अब थोड़ा सा इसके अलग अलग मैं इसमें जाऊंगा। तो इसमें एक गुण है आत्मद्रव्य हेतु भूत चैतन्य मात्र भाव धारण लक्ष्मणा, सॉरी लक्षणा जीवत्व शक्ति. So the Jivatva Shakti is responsible for distinguishing a living being from a non-living being. This Jiva Shakti is due to four attributes which are Gyan, knowledge, Darshan, intuition, Anand and Virya. अब आप सब जानते हैं कि जो ज्ञान है वो आत्मा का एक सबसे प्राइमरी गुण माना जाता है, सबसे बड़ा गुण माना जाता है. और यहीं से मेरे दिमाग में आया कि अगर ज्ञान मतलब इसका सबसे बड़ा गुण माना जाता है तो यहीं पर कुछ ऐसी चीज है मतलब जिसके ऊपर चिंतन की आवश्यकता है. उसके बाद दूसरा जो है ये कि ये मतलब अजड़त्व आत्मिका चिति शक्ति. दिस सेकंड शक्ति इज अजड़त्व, यानी वो मटेरियल नहीं है. जो आत्मा है तो वो है जो उसमें जड़ नहीं, यानी वो नॉन मटेरियल है, चिति शक्ति. एंड इन कॉन्ट्रास्ट टू जीवत शक्ति हैज ओनली टू शक्ति, नेमली दर्शन एंड ज्ञान. और इसमें भी आप देख रहे हैं कि दर्शन और ज्ञान ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट इसके अंदर ये माना गया है. मतलब उसके बाद अनाकार उपयोग मई दृष्टि शक्ति. So this is a power through which the Atma has an initial or preliminary view of reality which is further knowable. Through it, sorry, I will stop it. Okay, through it one sees Atma Dravya, sees oneself and sees all paryas and everything else. तो ये जो है फर्स्ट कट इंफॉर्मेशन जो कहना चाहिए वो मतलब क्या है कि अनाकार उपयोगमयी दृष्टि शक्ति है, उससे मिलता है. फिर ज्यादा प्रिसीशन चाहिए तो साकार उपयोगमयी ज्ञान शक्ति. तो उसमें पावर ड्यू टू विच वन हैज डिटेल्ड नॉलेज ऑफ सेल्फ एंड ऑल अदर सब्सटेंसेस लाइक साइज, शेप, कलर, टेस्ट, स्मेल एंड टच एटसेट्रा. तो ये एक वो क्या डिटेल में चाहिए अगर तो ये है. पर फोकस क्या है आप देखेंगे कि नॉलेज पर है और दोनों अलग अलग है, मतलब मटेरियल अलग है, आत्मा अलग है. मतलब ये कंसेप्ट है जिस पे अपन वो ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. मतलब उसके बाद है सर्व भाव व्यापक एक भाव रूपा विभुत्व शक्ति. ड्यू टू दिस पावर आत्म द्रव्य परवेट्स ऑल द अदर इनफाइनाइट शक्तिस और देयर पर्यास. अब ये एक बहुत प्रोफाउंड कंसेप्ट है कि वो जो आत्म द्रव्य है वो सभी शक्तियों में है और सभी मतलब उनके पर्याय में है. अब ये भी एक मेरे को हिंट देता है डायरेक्टली ये होलोग्राफ की तरफ मदद सोचने के लिए. उसके बाद है विश्व विश्व सामान्य भाव परिणत आत्मदर्शन मई सर्वदर्शित्व शक्ति. This power is such that through this one perceives all substances of the lokakasha in totality, that is as a whole, which is existing but without their details. तो ये इसमें वो एक वो ओवरव्यू जो कहना चाहिए वो आता है. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट में आता है कि विश्व विश्व विशेष भाव परिणत आत्मज्ञानमयी सर्वज्ञत्व शक्ति. Power due to which there is a capability of knowing dravya, gun and their paryas of all substances in the loka in a state of omniscient. It perceives all these aspects together including their past, present and future. उसके बाद है ये निरूप आत्म प्रदेश प्रकाशमान लोक अलोक आकार मेचक उपयोग लक्षणा स्वच्छत्व शक्ति. Formless, self-lightning, cleanliness, power having many forms, mechak, through which all attributes of Pudgal, Dharmastika, Adharmastika, Akash and time are reflected in this mirror-like power of Atma. अब ये mirror-like power of Atma जो इसमें आया है ये अपने मतलब हाँ ये 47 शक्तियों का गुण में आता है. और आप आश्चर्य करेंगे, मतलब मैं आपको बताऊंगा तो ये है कि जो नील पोटेंट क्वांटम फिजिक्स की जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ उसमें एग्जैक्टली मिरर वर्ड ही यूज किया गया है. मतलब यू विल बी शॉक्ड एक्चुअली कि दोनों में इतनी सिमिलरिटी है. Now also Atma doesn't have any property of Pudgal like taste, smell, touch, form, color, etc. But the Atma Dravya still has Pradeshas like structure known as Atma Pradeshas. तो ये दोनों अलग अलग हैं, आत्मा अलग है, मैटर अलग है और आत्मा में ज्ञान भरा हुआ है. इसी से मेरे को एकदम से लगा कि ये है जो मतलब होलोग्राम से रिलेटेड होना चाहिए. और होलोग्राम में जैसा कि आप जानते हैं एक छोटा सा उसका कंपोनेंट होता है, उसमें पूरा उसका सिस्टम का ज्ञान होता है. मतलब तो जो आत्म प्रदेश में जो बात कही जा रही है वो काफी इससे है जो मिलती है। मतलब तो अगेन ये एक और दूसरा इंडिकेशन है कि ये है जो मतलब होलोग्राम की तरह क्यों है। सॉरी, हाँ, उसके बाद क्षेत्र कालान अवच्छिन्न अचिद्दिलास आत्मिका असंकुचित विकासत्व शक्ति। Due to this power, Atma can expand both across space and time, leading to Atindriya Jnana. Then this is 15th is पर आत्म निमित्तिक ज्ञेय ज्ञानाकार ग्रहण ग्रहण स्वभाव रूपा परिणम्य परिणामकत्व शक्ति. Due to this power, an Atma can absorb knowledge of knowable entities and can also help others, living beings, in absorbing that knowledge. अब ये जो पर्टिकुलर शक्ति ये जो इसमें दे रखी है, अगेन आप आश्चर्य करेंगे कि क्वांटम होलोग्राफी के अंदर जो कंसेप्ट मैं आपको बताऊंगा उसमें ये पॉसिबल है, मतलब कि एक दूसरे से मतलब एक इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सचेंज हो सकती है। हाँ, उसके बाद ये देखिए, अब ये बहुत जबरदस्त है, मतलब बहुत ही, आई वाज सो फैसिनेटेड, ये जबरदस्त है मतलब शक्ति। और इसके मतलब इम्प्लीकेशंस क्या होने चाहिए वो मैंने काफी इस पे चिंतन किया है और इसके ऊपर मैं आपकी विशिष्ट राय मतलब जानना चाहूंगा। तो ये है कि सट स्थान पतित वृद्धि हानि परिणत स्वरूप, जस्ट सॉरी, आदि समझ, सट स्थान पतित वृद्धि हानि परिणत स्वरूप प्रतिष्ठत्व कारण विशिष्ट गुणात्मिका अगुरु लघुत्व शक्ति। ये जो शक्ति है इसमें क्या है कि एक पर्याय जो होता है उस एक पर्याय के अंदर 6 ढंग की हानि होती है और 6 ढंग की वृद्धि होती है। अब ये बहुत ही जबरदस्त चीज है, मतलब बहुत ही जबरदस्त चीज है। A power due to which 6 types of attributes increases and also simultaneously other 6 types decreases during one parya or one samay. These 6 attributes are Ananta Jnana Hani, that is infinite power loss, then Asankhyaat Gun Hani, innumerable power loss, Sankhyaat Guna Hani, finite power loss, Ananta अनंत भाग हानि इनफाइनाइट पार्ट्स लॉस, असंख्यात भाग हानि इनन्यूमरेबल पार्ट्स लॉस, संख्यात भाग हानि finite parts loss. Simultaneously, there are complementary 6 attributes due to which they also increases. That is, they are gained. So these 6 attributes are Ananta Gun Vradhi, infinite powers gain. Asankhyat Guna Vradhi, innumerable powers gain. Sankhyaat Guna Vradhi, finite power gains. And Ananta Bhaga Vradhi, infinite parts gain. And Asankhyaat Bhaga Vradhi, innumerable parts gain. And Sankhyaat Bhaga Vradhi, finite parts gain. अब ये क्या मिस्ट्री है इसके अंदर? मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि ये जो मिस्ट्री है ये मतलब इंडिकेट करती है कि जो एक पर्याय के पीछे आप देखिए कि ये 12 मतलब पैरामीटर साइमल्टेनियसली चेंज हो रहे हैं। और ये मेरे को ऐसा लगता है इसी के बेसिस पे ऊपर मेरा ऐसा विश्वास है कि ये एक्चुअली इनडायरेक्टली क्वांटम इंटेंगलमेंट की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे। मतलब कि जो एक पर्याय है वो सभी से जुड़ी हुई है, मतलब जितने पार्ट्स हैं उसके सिस्टम के और जिनके जो डायनेमिकली जो लॉस हो रहा है और गेन हो रहा है साइमल्टेनियसली, उससे पर्याय जनरेट हो रही है। मैं वो नहीं कहूंगा, बट दे आर को रिलेटेड, दे आर हाईली को रिलेटेड। तो जैसे क्वांटम इंटेंगलमेंट में होता है कि दे आर हाईली कोरिलेटेड, इन द सेम वे मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये दे आर हाईली कोरिलेटेड एंड दे आर डायनेमिक, क्योंकि उसमें जो है जो लॉसेस और गेन है दे आर डायनेमिक और ये पर्याय है ये भी डायनेमिक है। तो देयर इज ए डायनेमिक कोरिलेशन एंड ये जो इंफिनिटी आ रहा है इसलिए ऐसा लगता है कि इनफाइनाइट कोरिलेशंस हैं इसके अंदर। तो विच इज लुक्स एक्चुअली आई मीन वेरी क्लोज टू दिस क्वांटम इंटेंगलमेंट। तो ये मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि इनडायरेक्टली कहीं पे, और क्वांटम इंटेंगलमेंट इज फाउंडेशन ऑफ दिस क्वांटम होलोग्राफी। तो ये इस टेबल में मैंने बताया है the 6 type of losses and gains of guna shaktis and parts bhag in a parya during one samay. Is it an indicator of this quantum entanglement? I mean, this is a serious question, and I put forward before you. So here I have seen, I need not repeat it again, losses of part, losses of gunas, gain of parts and gain of gunas, and here is infinite, innumerable, and finite. This is, I think, is a very, very deep mystery, and we must examine it very thoroughly. Uh, Okay, then this is this 18 Shakti. Kram Akram Vrat Pratitva Lakshana Utpada Ve Dhruvatva Shakti. This power is such that there is simultaneous movement of all infinite Shaktis at the same time, that is in parallel. But each power has its own paryas, which are all sequential. Every Shakti has a root form of Utpad, production, Vyaya, destruction, and Dhruvatva, conservation. Now, this is very close to what we have an oscillatory wave, where we have some kind of production, then destruction, and something remains constant. I mean, just like waves on an ocean, for example. So this is clearly indicating that they are talking about these waves which have frequencies, amplitude, and phase, and all those things. Then this 19 is Drav Sabhava, the भूत द्रव्य व्यय उत्पाद आलिंगित सदृश्य विसदृश्य रूप एक अस्तित्व मात्रमयी परिणाम शक्ति. Power because of which this dravya, vyaya, and utpad are embraced with each other. However, in section 18, utpad, vyaya, and this dravya were taken together, but the sequence was such that the first we had utpad, then vyaya, and then this dravya. But here the sequence is reversed. This dravya comes first, then this vyaya, and then utpad. I think these 18 and 19 combined together, they provide some kind of symmetry. So this is actually what I want to convey to you, but they are very profound. They indicate something, just a minute. Yes. Oh, why it is happening? Okay, then I am going to this Eka Dravya Vyapa Aneka Parya Matva Rupa. Due to this Shakti, Atma Dravya pervades all infinite paryas of all infinite Shaktis. Then due to this Bhav Shakti, this 33, due to this Bhav Shakti, some Nirmal Parya in a current pure form is always there in all infinite Shaktis at any time. Then Sunya Avastatva Rupa Bhav Shakti, in Atma when Nirmal Parya is there, then at that time it has no bhav, karm or other parya. That is, they are completely different. So again, this is actually supporting this holographic, this type of concept. Then we have this bhavatya, this bhavatya paryaya, where rupa bhav, abhava shakti. There is a power in the Atma known as bhav, abhav shakti, due to which a paryaya which is bhav, roop at present becomes abhav roop in next instant. Now this is just like if we focus our attention on one oscillation, then this oscillation will disappear in the next samay and the new will come. So these 35 and 36, they describe this process, that one which is having bhav as on this samay will become above, means it will disappear, and the revert which is not there at this samay will reappear again in the next samay. So this is actually just trying to describe this wave like process. Then 37, this bhavat paryaya bhavan rupa bhava bhava shakti. Due to this power, a paryaya one type will remain the same throughout the time domain. It means that again there is a wave having a distinct frequency. So this will remain the same. It will not change with time. So I mean, that is what we observe when we talk of a single frequency or actually a wave having a given frequency. Then this 38, this abhavat paryaya bhavan rupa abhava abhava shakti. Due to it, Atma's parinaman is without any vikar swabhav, and its parinaman will remain without vikar in the future also. Now here it appears that Atma has only knowledge, that is the all this movement of dharmasti, this Pudgal, for example, there image or their this information about their movement is contained in the Atma, but actually Pudgal and all these things are not there in Atma. So only again this is again confirming this holographic picture. Now here I have tried to show pictorially massively parallel infinite Shaktis and their weak correlation. But actually they are not exactly parallel. There is some weak correlation is there among them. So this need to be examined further. So if we have Shakti 1, then there will be say, some function of Shakti 1, Shakti 2, Shakti 3 and up to Shakti infinite. So they are contained in this. Then Shakti 2, Shakti 3, Shakti N and up to Shakti infinity, they will have all the other Shaktis also, but weakly present. So this is something which needs to be further examined. Okay, now this is now here. I mean, suppose we take Shakti 1 and Samay 1, Samay 2, Samay 3 up to Samay infinity. Then we have, say, in the first row Shakti 1, the Paryaya 1, actually in Samay 1, then Paryaya this 1 type in Samay 2, and so on and so forth. Then for Shakti 2, like this, it will come. So all these Shaktis appear to represent these waves. So this type of representation has been, and interestingly, this representation has been now named as ayat. Ayat means that rectangle. So this concept of this matrix representation was probably there in their mind. Actually, this word was particularly used by Kanji Swami. Then very interesting thing I have found, I was very excited with that observation. They have defined 5 different type of infinities. And the way they have just developed this formalism is remarkable, I mean. So as I have understood, infinity 1 is number of jivas, that is living beings. Infinity 2 is number of parmanus, atoms as per Jainism. Then infinity 3, number of samayas in past, present and future. Infinity 4 is number of pradeshas in Lok and Aloka. And infinity 5, number of Shaktis of an Atma. Now, I have gone through this quite actually many times, and I have found that this looks to be a very self-consistent this model of distinguishing different type of infinities. Actually, I would like to hear your comment afterwards about this also. Okay, these things have been missed in between. The Sakala Karma Uparam Pravrat Atma Pradesh Nespanda Rupa Nishkriyatva Shakti. Yeah, these are again, I mean, very important. Actually, I have not put them in that particular sequence. I have just changed the sequence. So here this 23rd implies power due to which inactiveness, no vibration is realized in all Atma Pradeshas when there are no karmas. But a part of this Shakti is realized even in 4th Gun Sthana of a Samyak Drashti. And this part is partially realized in all innumerable Atma Pradesha. Now, this is very interesting. This is again showing that it's why it's acting as a hologram. Because hologram, all the parts has some information. So it is not like this that in the fourth in this 4th Gun Sthan, some of the Atma Pradesh will not have any knowledge and others will have knowledge. So this type of picture is not correct. All the Atma Pradeshas have some knowledge, some concept, some information. So this again reflects the holographic picture. Then 24th, Asansara Saharan Vistran Lakshit Kinchita Nyuna Charam Sharir Parimana Avasthit Lokakasha Sammit Atma Vayatva Lakshana. Due to this power, Atma can expand and contract. Actually, this asankoch vistar shakti can result into ultimate realization of complete dravya, complete kshetra, complete kal and complete bhav without any obstruction. Thus, a body of an elephant also has the same number of Atma Pradeshas as that in one ant. It is due to the expandability property of group of Atma Pradeshas, but each Atma Pradesha doesn't expand. Now, this is again, I want to draw your kind attention. In case I have not interpreted properly, then kindly actually help me in understanding it better. So it appeared that a group of Pradeshas are linked through springs-like entities, so it can change its total size depending on the size of the physical body. it is very strange to mention that apparent size of Atma as enclosed in the living being is slightly smaller than size of the body last occupied. Ultimately, it can occupy the whole Lokakas in the state of Keval Gyam. So I will try to explain this now using these models. Now here as I actually I just wanted to show that why here this picture of the hologram is actually is strongly indicated in this. So actually as I already explained you in the fourth this Gunistam Sakala Karma Uparam Pravratta Atma Pradesh Nespanda Rupa Niskriyatva Shakti. So here you can see on the left side I have shown the correct situation, and in this book actually Kanji Swami has actually brilliantly explained this particular fact, and I was very impressed by that. And I should also tell you that I have read this book 3 times, although it is there in Gujarati. But actually I can't speak Gujarati, but I can read Gujarati almost 90% accurately. I mean. So this shows that actually the situation actually depicted on the right side is not correct, where some these three these spares are they colored, and the below three ones are actually not colored, they are blank. Actually this is not correct. The picture given on the left is correct, where each of the Atma Pradesh is occupied. So this again shows this holographic like picture, hologram like picture. Okay, then this 20th again I have mentioned here. The karma bandha vipagam व्यंजित सहज स्पर्शादि शून्य आत्म प्रदेश आत्मिका अमूर्तत्व शक्ति. This Murtatva Shakti. Due to this power, there is a formless parinaman of paryas of Shaktis which do not have any karma bandhans and so free from sparsh, gandh, swad, rang, etc. And this parinaman is there even at Atma Pradesh level. Now, this is again very, very powerful indication that why it should be a hologram like thing. Because the hologram doesn't have any iota of the sparsh, gandh, swad, rang, or these attributes. They only have the information or the movement of this Pudgalas in the Atma. I mean, so basically information only and nothing else. So this is clearly coming out in this. And even at the Atma Pradesh level, it is being very clearly explained. This is something fantastic, and hats off to our acharyas and our Kevlis who have just gone into this depth. Then 21st is Sakal Karma Krat Gyatratva Matra Atirikta Parinama the Karana Uparam Atmika Akartatva Shakti. Now here it is shown that due to this power, Atma is not a cause of Shubh and Ashubh Bhavas, which are totally due to karma. But Atma is just a knower of them. Also, Atma is not responsible for parinamans, these parinams of raga caused due to 8 type of karma. Now again, that shows that very clearly that these two are different entities. So this Atma doesn't have any of the attributes of those 8 karmas. So again, but they have only information about those karmas. So the splitting is actually fantastic. I mean, then this 22nd Sakal Karma Krat Gyatratva Matra Atirikta Parinam Anubhav Uparam Atmika Abhoktratva Shakti. Due to this power, an Atma is not Bhokta of Karma Karta Bhava. So Atma is neither a sufferer nor an enjoyer of the impact of 8 types of karma. So again, it shows that these two are very distinct type of entities, completely distinct. I mean. Okay, then 25th is Sarva Sharira Eka Swarupa Atmika Swadharma Vyapakta Swakti. Now again, this very strongly support this holographic model. Atma is confined to itself, even in a living body, keeping its own separate identity. That is, it does not interact with any cell or its parts or their groups. Atma is not Vyapak, spread up in the body of living beings, nor in the raga of them. Atma is Vyapak in its own form. It means that this holographic structure is there, spread in the body, but it is having its own identity. It means it is completely distinct from the body functions. Atma and body are just two independent entities. Then 27, this Vilakshan Ananta Swabhava Bhavita Eka Bhava Lakshana Ananta Dharmatva Shakti. Atma has infinite Shaktis with different characteristics, but there is one Chaitanya Roop which has all these Dharmatva Shaktis. So again, this means that this knowledge or information, whatever you are called, this is actually distributed, or it is present in all of these infinite Shaktis. So some kind of this distribution like concept is reflected from this Shakti, which is an intrinsic property of any hologram. Then 28, this tadrupa mayatva lakshana viruddhatva adharmatva Shakti. Atma has property to know but doesn't have knowable entities. There are two Shaktis which are contradictory to each other. Tadarupa mayatva and atadarup mayatva. Tad means Atma, which is Gayak, this Gayak Swabhav, one which wants to know. And Atad means that it doesn't have anything gay which needs to be known. Again, the distinction is very sharp, I mean, very sharp. Sorry. Then this Tadrupa Bhavana Rupa Tattva Shakti. Due to this Tadrup power, Atma is Tadrup in its own Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav. Its Parinaman is defined through these four parameters. It doesn't contain any rag. So again, it shows that it has its own independent identity, completely independent, just like a hologram. Then 30th, this Atadrupa Bhavana, the Rupa Tattva Shakti. Due to this power, Atma cannot be others Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav Roop or inanimate Roop. It cannot have. So it is very, very clearly defined that these two are completely independent entities. Then the Shakti number 31, Anek Paryaya, Vyapak, Ek Dravya Mayatva Rupa Ekatva Shakti. Although there are infinite paryas of infinite Shaktis associated with Atma Dravya, but one single Atma Dravya is present in all infinite paryas of all infinite Shaktis. So this again shows, I mean, that some simple thing is present everywhere. I mean, so you can say that all parts of the hologram has the same content. I mean, actually, this is my interpretation. That Shakti number 32, Ek Drav, actually it is the reverse. Ek Dravya Vyapaka Aneka Paryaya Mayatva Rupa Anekatva Shakti. And please note it down that they have given such so extensively that no doubt remains in our mind. Whenever you have any doubt, I mean, immediately it will be cleared the way they have put the sequence of the Shaktis. But this is absolutely fantastic, and we have to actually recognize this thing. Sorry. It's such a great concept, I mean. Now, due to this 32, Ek Dravya Vyapak Anek Paryaya Mayatva Rupa Anekatva Shakti. Due to this Shakti, Atma Dravya pervades all infinite paryas of all infinite Shaktis. Now here something new I have found, and it took me a lot of time to understand, I mean, what it is. Now these 6 karkas, these karkas are taught to us, actually I was taught in class 3, this meaning of karka, I couldn't understand, I mean, and even now it was very difficult for me to understand. But I very strongly feel that, and I want your critical opinion about it. This Karka's structure, it shows very clearly to me at least, there's some topological structure is there at a very fundamental level. So this is to be also examined very thoroughly, but this is my the conjecture that all these 6 Karkas which are defined here for Pudgalas separately and for Atma also separately, but I feel that they reflect some kind of topological structure at very fundamental level. Okay, now let me go to this hologram concept. What is ordinary hologram? I've taken from Wikipedia. Holography is a technique that enables a wavefront to be recorded and later reconstructed. Holography is best known as a method of generating 3-dimensional images. A hologram is made by superimposing a second wavefront, normally called the reference beam, on the wavefront of interest, thereby generating an interference pattern which is recorded on a physical medium. When only the second wavefront eliminates the interference pattern, it is refracted to recreate the original this wavefront. I am just trying to explain it by this picture, working of an ordinary hologram, that on the left you can see this, I mean, there is this coherent light beam is there. It is just falling on this blue or the tilted line, which is known as beam splitter. So this incident light is divided into two parts. Actually, this one part straight away goes and just try to illuminate the object, which is this box-like entity, this cube-like entity. It is being illuminated with this first part of this light, and the second part actually goes actually in the lower direction, and there is a mirror actually placed parallel to that blue beam splitter at the top, and this reflected light from this mirror goes towards this right side, which is known as reference beam because it is not affected by object. So these two beams actually interfere on this plate. So the photographic plate which is there on the right bottom. So these two beams when they interfere, then you have what is known as the interference of the photographic plate. And this photographic plate, when illuminated again by this reference beam, then this thing is created again. So here, reconstruction of the original object by exposing the interference plate with a reconstruction beam. The physical plate containing interference patterns have only information of the original physical object and not an iota of physical aspect of the actual physical object. So this is the whole point actually. So on the left side, you can see that this virtual image is there of that object when this beam, actually when this photographic plate is again uh, is exposed by this reference beam. So I mean that is the meaning of this hologram. Actually, you must have seen actually photograph of our prime minister, and in the election of 2014, it was they had this technology, and through that, our prime minister could be seen at I mean these 30 different places in the election meeting. So that is what the hologram means. It has huge amount of knowledge, but actually no physical body was there. So this is an excellent example of this. Now I will just go and touch upon this quantum holography in little detail. Uh, First, we have to understand this 0 point field. In an article in New Scientist, science writer Robert Matthews, 1995, summarizes the predictions of various scientists. Many researchers see the vacuum as a central ingredient of 21st century physics. This uh, I mean, the reason for this is that despite its name, the vacuum is in fact far from empty. Create a perfect vacuum devoid of all matter and containing not a single stable particle, and that region of seemingly empty space will actually be a seething quantum sea of activity. So there is something in this 0 point field. And as you know, actually, those who are physicists here, the Heisenberg uncertainty relations allow subatomic particles to flicker in and out of existence. Similar quantum processes apply to electromagnetic fields, and that is the origin of the electromagnetic 0 point field. The entire universe is filled with a quantum sea of electromagnetic 0 point energy, whose properties are the basis of this Matthew predictive statement. Uh, Now this quantum hologram I am coming. Every material body emits and absorbs some radiations into or from the 0 point field. These contain quantum information which is non-local. Please note it very carefully that here we are talking about non-local information. That is instantaneous information which can flow instantaneously, and this has been now almost vindicated by this EPR, this paradox which is now being resolved. It is almost resolved, I should say. So it is shown that there is the two photons which are being actually studied in that EPR experiment. They are correlated, and the correlation is such that once you try to study one of the photon or its polarization, the state of polarization of the second photon automatically changes. So this is kind of non-local interaction which is there. So this is almost established. So this non-local interaction or non-local information, they are foundation of this quantum hologram. Extremely important thing. And actually, as I will tell you, probably this non-local information correspond to Keval Gyan. That is by another conjecture. So for living beings, these radiations are very coherent. Due to non-locality, instantaneous transfer of information is possible, and this information is not attenuated. This quantum hologram of an individual contains all the history of the system, a living being, including objective and subjective experiences. One can treat quantum hologram of each living being stored in the ZPF, that is 0 point field. That is one's personal hologram and has certain set of frequencies and information for each individual. It exists in four-dimensional space-time domain. Anyone interested can resonate with it and can extract the information. Now, as per this concept, each person or each animal or even elephant or ant or anybody, I mean, each one has its own quantum hologram. There is a hologram which contains information about the whole past history of the person, or if it's an animal or like that. This is the conjecture, and that information lies in the ZPF, that is the 0 point field. This information is storage and its recall is called quantum holography. Okay, just continuing. The storage mechanism for quantum hologram resides in the ZPF. This field is ubiquitous, non-local, it is non-local and cannot be attenuated, lasts indefinitely. That is, never loses coherence. Can store unlimited quantity of information, and any portion of it encodes the whole, just as a hologram does. So this is, I mean, something. I mean, very similar to our Jain concept of Atma also. The Atma Pradesh also has information. I mean, so, I mean, that is to be, and it is spreading all around, everywhere. I mean, and this information cannot be attenuated. This is to be also, I mean, kept in mind actually when we are doing this comparison. It can be thought of not only as nature's information storage mechanism, but also as information transfer mechanism. So it involves transfer of the information also. Now, QH information is contained in the amplitude, frequencies, and the phase relationship of the underlying this interference pattern from the emitted quanta. This information is emitted and absorbed by all objects and exists in four-dimensional space-time reality. Just a minute. Yeah. QH applies to all scales, sizes, from the smallest subatomic particle to the largest substructures in the cosmos, and takes place at all temperatures, even down to absolute zero temperature. It exists simultaneously beneath the classical descriptions of how information is exchanged between non-living objects and below the normal five senses for living organisms. So this is again to be actually, at some places in that book by Kanji Swami, I have read that Keval Gyan exists even in the, actually, in some form, in the lower Gunisthanas also. Now, I don't know how to interpret it in the light of this, but it provides some insight into that also. So for living organism, QH applies to intra and intercommunication between cells, organs, and organ systems, and finally between organisms as well as with the larger environment. So it applies to all living organisms on Earth as well as all biological entities that exist throughout the cosmos. It strongly supports the Jain concept that Chetna or consciousness is there among all living beings. So this is also actually coming out very well through this formalism also. Application of quantum hologram, the mechanism of quantum hologram applies to all of the cells of the human body, approximately 50 to 100 trillions, and answer the question how so many cells work together in the human body in a highly coordinated way. Uh, uh, and uh, and please note that this non-local information is playing an extremely important role here. thousands of cells are dying every second, and so billions of cells are replaced every week. But we remain what we are, with same memories and same distinct features. So this could be actually this has been explained by the scientists. And the process of electrochemical communication is too slow to result into highly coordinated action in our body. So this provides an argument that why it is like that. I mean, then to understand it in a better, and I just want to draw attention of the all serious scholars because some interesting thing is there in this. This phase conjugate adaptive.
गोकर्ण साहब, मेरा निवेदन है कि बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा, बहुत इट इज टू हैवी।
हाँ, मेरे को लग रहा है, मेरे ख्याल से इसको सेकंड पार्ट में करते हैं।
हाँ, मेरे ख्याल से आप यहाँ आप रुक करके अपना डिस्कशन करें तो ठीक रहेगा। इट इज बिकम टू हैवी, यू नो।
एक्चुअली मैं भी यही सोच रहा था,
एडजस्ट होना मुश्किल है, आप जो कह रहे हैं इतना सारा।
हाँ, नहीं ठीक है, तो एक काम करते हैं, इसको सेकंड पार्ट में कर देंगे फिर। मैं भी यही सोच रहा था एक्चुअली। मैं
आपकी स्लाइड्स कितनी स्लाइड्स और हैं?
गोकर्ण सर,
नहीं, स्लाइड काफी ज्यादा है, 20 स्लाइड और है अभी, 20।
ओहो, दैट इज रियली टू मच। तो आत्मा का एक रखें और होलोग्राम का एक अलग डिस्कशन रखें, और एक और रखें दोनों का मिला के, तब हमारे समझ में आएगा मेरे ख्याल से।
हाँ साहब,
मैं ये कह रहा था कि आपका लेक्चर इतना ज्यादा इसमें हैवी है कि इसका अगर आप पूरा मेल से ये